So we'll call this meeting to order. First thing is we have to do a couple things. We've got to approve the order of agenda. So if I could get a motion?
So moved.
And second? Second. Okay. Next is to approve the minutes from October. Can I get a motion?
Make the motion.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Now, I'd like to introduce our art moment. Our art moment today is provided by the FMCT. I'm going to introduce Shannara, and she's going to lead us through.
Well, thank you so much for inviting us. My name is Shannara Lasig, and I have the privilege of directing Charlie Brown Christmas this year at FMCT. Unfortunately, FMCT is not going to be where we are performing our show because of structural issues there. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. So we are going to be performing at Concordia. They opened up their space for us there. So we will be going there right after this and getting going because this is our last rehearsal before we open tomorrow. We run Thursday, Friday, 2 shows on Saturday, and then Sunday. So if you guys want to come down and see us, that would be great. Also, we have about half of our cast, a little bit more than that. There's 8 kids ranging from 5th grade to 8th grade here with us, and they are fantastic. So they're going to sing the opening number of Charlie Brown Christmas and then the end for you. So we're going to just sing some Christmas carols, and you're welcome to join us. Do you guys want to come up and introduce yourselves and the characters you play? Come on up.
My name is Claire Molina, and I play the part of Sally Brown.
My name is Kyler Bachmeyer, and I play the part of Lucy.
My name is Sylvia Holm, and I play the part of Frida.
Hi, my name is Noah Moline, and I play the part of Schroeder.
Hi, my name is Noah Franzen, and I play the part of Shermie.
Hi, my name is Keegan Cratchit, and I play the part of Linus.
My name is Meryl Wiley, and I play the part of Snoopy.
My name is Eve Chambers, and I play the part of Violet.
So our Charlie Brown and a few of the other characters are actually at Shrek rehearsal or other activities right now, so they are unable to join us, but yeah, we're really excited to be here. So you guys ready? Come on up over around and we'll sing.
Christmas time is here, happiness and cheer, fun for all the children call their favorite time of year. Snowflakes in the air, carols everywhere, olden times and ancient rhymes of love and dreams to share.
Then they're going to go ahead and sing. We have a little carol sing-along at the end of our show, so we're going to sing that. We'll do Hark the Herald first, okay?
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is
wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. Good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you guys so much for inviting us. We appreciate it. Is there anything else that you needed of us?
No, that was wonderful. You guys
Wonderful.
sound great. Really, really well done. Thank you so much for coming out. Good luck with your performance. Thank you. Well, darn it, now we have to do business. The next item on the agenda is a review of the call for artists of public arts projects. This is a laydown item. We didn't get this out in it for your advance perusal. This is a result of our fall grant round. The subcommittee met, I can't remember, what was it, 2 weeks ago or a week ago, 2 weeks ago? And there were 10 applications. The results of those applications are, we invited the artists to come in and do an interview with us. Most of them did that. And of the 10, 4 were moved forward, 2 were recommended for full funding. The entire 10 you'll find in your packet is, there was a, what do we call that thing?
There's a summary. of
Summary.
all.
Thank you. Yeah, couldn't quite come up with that one. There's a summary, and also the top 4 proposals are also attached. The top 2, number 1 is Emily Williams Wheeler, requested a little over $11,000 to have a painting transferred to a vinyl decal that will be applied to the Skyway over Broadway. And the second is with another city department, with the health department. They are putting together a market. It's an old stop and go over by, what's the, oh, I don't have the address. But they're turning it into a community market, and they have a plan to have a mural done on the outside. This was the one project that is aimed at creative placemaking, that they anticipate that that the curation of the mural will involve the involvement of the community members, the immediate community members, and it will also create a place for gathering. They are expecting that there will probably be farmers market, that type of stuff. There'll be different community activities going on there. So, I'll give you a minute to review, and then we are going to ask for, see if there are any questions, any discussion, and then we will call for a vote so that these proposals can move forward. Give it just a couple minutes. Is there anything that I missed, Megan, that you want to add?
No, unless the commission wants just a real quick kind of one-sentence summary of each application, we'd be happy to go through that.
Yes.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
Would you like staff to do that,
Yep,
Chair?
please.
Okay. So we'll start, I guess these pages aren't numbered, but on the first page, there's, I'll call them out by project name. Public Art by Students is a project that proposes teaching students about carving stone, and it included a proposal for a public art piece. Drawn to Culture is a program of classes, teaching art classes to underserved teens with an emphasis on cultural education. The next is the decal installation on the Broadway Skywalk, which Chair Williams had just mentioned. The fourth is called Fargo Feels, which was a proposal to write and record a song about the Fargo community. The next one is titled Impact, which was a proposal to repurpose glass into a mural. The next, so flipping to the back side, was a proposal for a bird-up fountain, which was a sculpture, which also would have proposed to be a public drinking fountain in the downtown area. The next is the Neighborhood Market Project, which Chair Williams described. The next was titled Fish of the Red River Valley, which is a proposal for a mural on the underpass that's actually just located right around here out to the east of City Hall, mural of fish that were found in the Red River. Next was Sun Sculptures, which is a proposal for a sculptural light installation just on the west side. And the last is the mural movement, which was a proposal for a program to implement murals and kind of figure out how to do more murals and connect people, businesses and artists to do that. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer. Please let me know.
Yes.
I have a question in regards to, we had provided a stipend for a couple of artists last time.
Yes.
Did those get resubmitted? Well, I know one of them did. I
Yeah.
don't see the other one.
Yeah, it's on here, but we declined it, and that was Olivia's, the Sun Sculptures.
Sun Sculpture? Okay.
And it didn't change enough where we felt that the structure could withstand flooding. It was a solar light sculptures to be installed on the west side of the flood wall, but it didn't seem like it was very sturdy. It was tall and very spindly. She didn't change it much.
Was she there for the
Yes.
discussion? Okay.
She was, yep.
Were all the artists? Did they all?
I think the only one, the first person for the stone carving, he was not, he didn't call, he was asked to call in, but he wasn't able to do that. And then other than that, I think, one other?
The other was Impact, which was an application by the Natural Resources Management
Right.
Club at NDSU.
Right,
But everyone else was there.
yep. And we had a very engaged subcommittee that included artists from across the disciplines and, art enthusiasts. So it was architects, so it was good. Any other questions? Give you a little more time to digest, or how are we doing here?
I think the neighborhood market one is in the Jefferson neighborhood, is that correct?
It is,
23rd Street?
yes, it is. And does it say here? It doesn't have an address on here, and I have a hard time explaining it. North side of the CFM building, so it's the north side of that old Stop and Go. And they used to call it community homes, but it's not called that anymore. All those apartments there. I was very glad to see applications from other city departments and neighborhoods. Go ahead.
Madam Chair?
Yeah.
So for the market project, without having the time to really look through this, is she proposing that Katie would do the actual mural, or is she gonna have neighborhood involvement, or?
Katie's going to lead it, so she is going to be working with the citizens of the neighborhood in terms of what it will actually look like.
Design,
The design, yes.
but she will actually be doing the
Yeah,
painting?
that's the plan. She said if the work tends to go, if it goes off into another direction that she's not comfortable with, then she'd be replaced.
Madam Chair, with that market, would you have a long-term permission for that art to always be there, or what type of commitment would it be from the private owners?
Go ahead.
So the location would be on private property. And the property owner did sign the application and has been very involved with what's been going on and what work that the health department has been already doing at the market. I believe that would be an agreement outside of either the planning department or the Arts and Culture Commission. And so I believe the ACC's role would be funding here. And then that if there was any agreement or anything would be up to the applicant to coordinate that with the owner.
And what comes to my mind is an Adam Kemp piece of public art in Grand Forks that got buried behind a wall. And folks then later on in life try to protect some art.
Oh.
So as long as we all know that it's for the future and there's a protection of that going into the future, I wouldn't want to have that ownership change or no covenants to protect the art if the private owners property changes ownership.
Yeah,
That's something that staff can look into.
yeah.
I think that would be essential.
I think that's kind of roll into some other work that we're doing too, in terms of, you know, when a private person wants to, when they put up art, I mean, what is their liability? I mean, you know, in providing access to it, or, you know, so if it's on private property, what's the liability if somebody wants to take a selfie and, you know, that type of thing. So I think a lot of that is kind of a piece that we have to.
And a
get our arms
covenant
around.
protecting it for future ownership changes perhaps, or
Yes.
something along that line.
Yeah, because I remember Mark once made the comment that it has an impact in the sale of commercial property, because is there maintenance, you know, that kind of thing. So it can be an asset or it can be a liability. So, yeah, I think that's something that we need to take on, yeah.
Within any of the submissions, were there any Native American artists or groups that submitted anything?
No.
Okay. Curious.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the answer.
No.
Maybe one quick thing to note from staff's perspective here. The amount of applications, I think, you know, if we think about overall the amount of applications, the scope of applications, the different type of applications, as well as the collaboration in the applications themselves, it just speaks to the work that you guys are doing and the Public Art Master Plan, and a big increase or a big difference, I guess, than the first round. So I think that what was received was good.
Yeah.
I apologize. I'm having a real hard time figuring out where this building is. The wall that will have the mural, does it
Faces the
face
north.
north or south?
So you know where Charism is? Over on the south side?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's that old Stop and Go next door to that.
So it's 25th.
Right off of 25th, right.
Yeah, the actual Stop and Go is on maybe
20
20.
Yeah, I know
It's
where
on
that
23rd
is.
and a little ways off of Fifth Avenue.
In between 5th and.
But the
7th Avenue.
address is 25th Street.
Well, I think Charism's sort of main office is over on 25th Street now, but
I-
they're,
So, well, I'm trying to think of where, will the public see it as they're driving by on
Yes,
25th?
there's a parking lot there.
not on 25th.
Not on 25th?
Oh, not on 25th, no.
Okay.
This will be more for the neighborhood.
I believe that the address that you see there is the location of Fargo Cass Public Health,
Exactly.
the applicant.
Any other questions? Does anybody need more time? No? Anybody? John? You good? Okay. All right, so I would like to call for a motion to approve the funding of the project The decal installation on Broadway Skywalk, the amount has been updated in this piece. It's not updated on her proposal, but she had to increase it a little bit for $11,342. And also the project, the neighborhood market project, for $10,815.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. Any,
I have one more question. So the 10,815 and the 11,342, ordinarily, I think we had 15,000 allocated per round,
right.
but we didn't use much, if any, last time.
We used a little bit last
So does this use
time.
it all up?
don't-
Or
I don't
is there
know.
still some in the bank?
If the commission chooses to fund those two projects, that would be the extent of the remaining funding on the budget for this year.
How much did we spend last round? I didn't think it was more than a couple thousand. Or,
I don't recall offhand, but I believe it was more around 6. Because the two stipends were just 2,000 right
oh,
there.
that's right, and then we did the dance for 5, so 7, okay.
And then the utility boxes and benches.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. What would be helpful, I think, with this is also to see the budget side.
Oh, yeah.
When we're considering these, but that's fine.
That was going to be my comment as well.
Yep.
Is how much money we have. And is the motion to approve all 4 of these?
No, it's just for the top two, for Emily's. Those are the only 2 that were recommended for funding.
Okay.
Madam Chair, if I might again, who owns the Skywalk?
That's a great question. I don't know if I know that answer, but one of the things that the applicant did, because this was one of the ones that was applied for in the spring round is, and she received a stipend, and so there were several coordination meetings at the city with the applicant, with our facilities director, the city auditor, and the engineering department, who all talked through that application. This project would have to go through other approvals with the city. However, during the meetings with other city staff, there didn't seem to be any red flags, at least at that point. But the applicant does know that there's a process that would still need to happen to secure approval and whatever might be necessary for that to happen.
We're a step. We're a step.
And the ownership will get discovered through that process, then I'm assuming.
I believe it's the city, but I could be wrong. But that is something that we will
clarify.
confirm. I'll find out. I mean, I just don't know. Others know. I know they know. I just don't.
So where I'm thinking is, as long as we know there's a long-term commitment from the owners, whoever they are, for the market and/or for the Skywalk, so we're not surprised in a year or two that somebody said, well, you didn't have a commitment beyond a year or so. And that's my biggest concern with either or both of these, is that it's just longer-term clearance.
Yeah, and to piggyback off that, there was an agreement with the wraps on the utility boxes, and I believe that agreement is with the city. I think that agreement is 6 years. So at that point, and it's my understanding that the wraps might last longer than that, but at least at 6 years, at that point, it'll be reevaluated.
And the wraps are temporary, so the opportunity there is to do this again with different art, you know, to have it kind of on a rotating kind of basis. I think that it's going to be very distinctive. Once it gets wrapped, I think it's going to be very noticeable, and it's going to get a lot of buzz. So I think it's something that even if that particular piece doesn't, you know, after 6 years, we can just do it again. You know, just do it again. Make that sound easy.
A memory that occurs to me is the Island Park bus ramp. bus, you know, where they put a see-through piece of art there. It was quite a process, but somehow in the end, when it was all done, you could hardly see it.
Yeah,
So however, we know that it's gonna give us the result we need and
yeah.
expect, you know the one I mean with the guy up in the side of the bus
Yep,
ramp?
that was supposed to be temporary.
And it's still there,
It's still there, yeah. Yeah,
but you can hardly see it.
yes.
During the day, during the night you can. It's really
Yep.
shows up. Is this Emily's project, is that going to be applied on the inside or the outside of the skywalk?
The outside, because the glass is tinted. The colors would not be as vibrant if it was on the inside.
And you can see through it after it's
Yes.
installed?
Yep, it's perforated, so it's like the same material that's on the buses, so you can see through it, yep. And it will only be on one side, because the other side is pretty much covered by trees, and so she's not gonna wrap that side, just the side that's open.
So what would happen if something fell through with the walkway with whoever owns it? Is there any wording in here where then that grant would not be given to her, or?
Yeah, if the work is not completed, the money goes back to the city,
Okay.
yep. Well, where were we? Was there a motion? Okay.
I'll add one more thing, Madam
Okay.
Chair. Just wait till 5 or 10 years later, if you're doing 1 to 2 of these per year, the impact that'll have on Fargo and our broader community. To have public art installations that are visible and you know, it'll just really add up. And it'll just take a few years before you're really starting defining us as an art community visibly.
Yeah, and my hope too is that our own citizens, as they see the art and they see the impact that it has on the areas where it is, that they'll be much more interested in bringing it into their own neighborhoods and their own developments, and we'll see it spread in a really good way. That's my fondest wish. Okay, so all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. Okay. All right, so next on the agenda, another project. We have been working, there's a committee that's been working on what we are calling the capital project. Provided in your packet was a draft of the RFQ request for qualifications. I'd like to open the floor now to any questions or comments.
One comment is, there's an email from the CVB requesting some changes, I
Andy,
believe, to the RFQ, and I didn't see that those have been implemented yet.
Yep, thanks for that comment. We didn't receive them in time to be able to incorporate that, but I do have a summary of what those comments were from the CVB, and what we'll do is if there's any comments from tonight, we'll incorporate those and we can get another revision sent back out. The CVB's concern was that Roosevelt Park was not as a highly trafficked area as the others, which is something that they're very interested in. They would like to see that there be the inclusion of some verbiage that relates to if a different site was selected by the artist, that it would have a kind of highly trafficked or some sort of verbiage with that. And the last concern was that concern if there was a project on the wet side of the river that would make it unavailable or for some time of the year. So
both my ideas. But their comments were very well thought out. I guess I did also want to add, I don't know that this was brought to this commission before, but Tracy Walbotny reached out to Excel Energy once she heard that this was going to be a light art installation, and she has been pointed to Excel's, they're very excited about it, and she has been pointed to their grant program. So once we start getting some more traction, we will be applying for matching funds.
Madam Chair, one thing I realize, and I can't remember what the conversation was at the committee meeting, but there is no dollar amount with the RFQ. I would imagine that's because it's an RFQ, not an RFP, right?
Right,
Okay, that's
yeah.
what I'm remembering, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll start talking money once we start finding people that are good to go.
Speaking of money, the $1,500 stipend for travel for an interview seems a little low, perhaps. Because you could probably spend that money much just flying to Fargo, depending where you're coming from. So we should probably review and increase that dollar amount appropriately, so that isn't a deterrent from somebody coming.
Do you have a recommended amount that you think would be appropriate?
Well, I mean, I think maybe some research would need to be done, but airfare, probably 2 nights hotel and whatever meals and things. So
Yeah.
it's probably more like 2,500 or 3,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have a hotel that the city uses that would be like a fixed rate or not?
Not that I'm aware of, but we can look into that. Yep.
It's like there's a state rate for a lot of things. I don't know if that would qualify.
One thing I might note too is that dollar amount. It's my understanding what's typical is an artist fee to be included, but that construction costs. So if you kind of think of the two different pots of money, one going to the artist and one going for the actual construction. And we'll look into that more, but that's kind of my understanding and what I was gathering from comments from the Plains Art Museum.
Rather than a figure, it can also be, we reimburse for air and
Yeah.
per diem.
And I think it probably, this was a example that was provided by Forecast Public Art. So I think that's where the numbers came from. But I suppose flying into Minneapolis is going to always be cheaper than flying into Fargo. So, yeah. You gonna add $500?
Or we could say up to a certain amount, so we, like he said, we just reimburse what their expenses are.
Okay, all right.
So as I'm seeing this, folks, artists can suggest other public locations,
Yes.
like water towers?
Well, it doesn't mean we'll say yes, but yes. Yeah. We remember we can say no.
And I'm glad to see the interstate walkover bridge on the list of potentials.
Yeah.
Learning lately, I think the states own the interstates.
The states do?
I think so. That's what I've been told, but
Oh,
I'm learning more.
I thought that was, okay. Wow, okay.
I'm learning.
I thought it was federal, but okay.
Thought so too.
Other comments, concerns?
Motion to approve, or?
I'm just wondering that, we do need a motion to approve so that we can get this in front of the city commission, right?
So move.
Okay, do I get a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks for your attention. Now we can get this moving on to the next step. But even if you think of suggestions or additions, please just email so that we can, still not written in stone, just moving ahead. Okay. So the 2020 meeting schedule. We just need to take a look at that, and if anybody wants to change it, let us know now, but this meeting schedule is based on what we currently have been going at. So I just need a motion to approve, unless there's discussion. Anybody? Thursdays at 5 o'clock still working?
Wednesday.
Or Wednesday? Okay, no, Thursday's book club, sorry. Get you guys mixed up. Any discussion at all? Then, no? Can I get a motion, please?
Make a motion.
Okay, a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great. Okay, and then work plan. Does anybody have anything they would like to report on the 2019 work plan? I'm seeing none. And Megan, would you like to report on staff side?
Yeah, maybe you all probably know most of the updates. Staff's been working on the number of things that you just took action on at this meeting, the call for artists, as well as the RFQ for the capital project. Staff continues to work on placement of the Keitel sculpture in City Hall. There's a couple other pieces that are in need of some restoration that we're going to begin working on, as well as the Hayes piece that was restored earlier this year. So staff continues to work on that. Gosh, I feel like there was one more thing, but I'm drawing a blank on it, so.
Let's see. So are there any other projects coming up that are imminent that we might have an opportunity to look at for public art, or maybe it's the 65th Avenue?
So the 64th Avenue has, yep.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There hasn't been much progress at this time just because that timeline has been delayed a little bit. So if nothing else, it kind of gives us a little bit more time to coordinate. So when there's an update on that, we'll be sure to bring that to the commission.
Okay. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions for staff? Okay. So on to other business. I wanted to first of all, I wanted to thank all of you for attending the meeting for the work plan session. I thought it was actually worked out pretty good, and I felt like I walked away with quite a bit more clarity. But we are not done. We still need to finesse the actual work plan for 2020. We have our priorities. Now we need to figure out all the other little bits and pieces. And I didn't talk to Megan about this yet, so surprise. But I am hoping that in our January meeting that we can have a brief business meeting and then step down from the dais for maybe even up to 2 hours to finish out that 2020 work plan. Suggestion, and I've also want to incorporate, we talked a lot about creating a story, and so that's kind of what I want to have Joe help us and come away with a story, not just a work plan, but a story. So I was just kind of hoping that people would maybe kind of plan for that. And if you can't, just let me know, because we want as many people there as possible. Can't? Arlette can't? No? Where are you going? Someplace warm?
FMVA board meeting.
Oh, well, that's important. Okay.
So you're talking, just to be clear, you're talking about extending the 15th for 2 hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
To 2 hours instead of 1 hour. Yep.
So, Madam Chair, may I ask a question?
Yeah.
So, I'm wondering if it wouldn't be helpful to maybe have another, even if it's a temporary committee, think about drafting an initial message or communication plan. It's kind of hard by committee to do that work. It would be nice to have something in front of us to look at and then talk about as part of a group. Would be, that's my experience in a communication message. It's kind of with an understanding of working on the communication plan we already have created, then what's the next iteration of that to review and have something in front of us would be my recommendation.
Okay. Now I feel like I jumped the gun a little bit. Can we?
How about if I suggest that we have a brief meeting and then whoever wants to work on that topic stays, not, because you'll be gone, Arlette, and
sure,
you'll be gone, so, if there's just a couple people that want to stay after and work on that day, that would be that small group.
Yeah, because I think, I'm not certain that we need to do it before, but it needs to happen.
Sure.
Yeah. And can I kind of just like put our heads together with Tracy Georgery and do the exec level, and then kind of put our heads together and just kind of get a clearer idea of where we're going to put, that communication plan has to happen, of course, but does it before this meeting or after? Because I think it might,
Sure.
yeah, I know, I'm not speaking in full sentences, I apologize. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm happy to help in any way.
thank you, yeah.
Of course, but it's always better to have something in front of you to, as a committee, to look at and kind of vet and, start as a starting place.
I'd like to reserve the right to call back and say, okay, yeah, we need to do it first. Can we do that?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I just need to get it a little more clear in my head. Thank
Sure.
you.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Other comments, please?
I'd just like to thank the subcommittee that put all that time and energy into going through the 10 applications. That was, I'm sure, a lot of work to vet those and move those forward for approval. So thanks to the group that participated in that.
Yes. Trace, on the commission, it was Megan, who of course puts in a ton of work, and Maggie. They put a ton of work in on it. And then it was me and Tracy Georgie, who wasn't here today, but it was a very interesting meeting, very interesting. I can tell you what, this application process is never going to not be fluid. It's never going to be in concrete, because there's the perspectives that you gain from the artists and the people who sit on that committee are always completely unexpected and awesome. So it's great. Okay, well, is there any other business?
Can we vote to approve the minutes?
Oh, we did, didn't we?
No.
Are you sure?
You made a motion.
First and
There's-
second.
Oh, I didn't ask for a vote? Sorry. Thank you, John. All right. Can I get a vote on, Do I have to ask for a motion again? Can I get a vote on approving the minutes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, John.
One other comment, this email that was included, do we need to take any action on that from
Colleen?
From Colleen?
Oh, I forgot all about Colleen. Sorry. It's not on here. Okay, so Colleen wants to do a presentation. She is working with the Plains, and she wants to do the presentation in April regarding the work that she did with her Bush grant doing sidewalk poetry in St. Paul. So she's got this program going, and she wants to do a presentation here in Fargo. The Plains has agreed to host her, and she has asked the Arts and Culture Commission to co-host her. As far as I can tell, that means that staff will send the invitation out. She has not asked for any money, and staff will send the invitation out to our list to try and fill the room. Basically, I think that's what she wants from us. At least that's what she said so far.
Yeah,
Yes? Okay.
that's what I understood.
Yeah.
Was the original request.
Yes, and based on the work that we did, or the I guess sponsorship that we did with the Forecast Public Art Workshop over in Moorhead, basically it's about the same thing, so I feel like it's a reasonable request. So I guess we need to make a motion. Do we need to make a motion on that? No? Okay. So unless anybody says, no, don't do it.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yep. Yes, it's a very good idea, and Colleen is a good friend of Fargo. Okay.
Actually, if I can add, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a local foundation that was involved in it, so it would be a good thing to make that connection.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Sodbuster.
How about Sodbuster? Yeah.
Might want to acknowledge it's up and out there, and
Yes. And I missed the big unveiling, but it's a pretty amazing thing. Kyle, it's fun to drive down the street and see that guy sitting out there. Happy to have him home.
Arlette, were you on the commission when that happened?
When it, let's see.
Originally?
No, when it was originally set up, bought, no, that was long before me, actually.
It's just so terrific that we had visionary forefathers back then who did such an investment in public art. And now we're realizing what an asset it is to the community and the immense value. It's just so terrific to have had that in Fargo's past and to pave the way for this commission going forward as an example, what that and other things do to a community and the culture, the space you're creating.
Yeah, and I was really, really glad, grateful to have the full support of the city commission to create the space for it.
Does anybody know what the original price of that thing was? I think it was like 1/10 of what it's worth now, if that much even. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. And and I think they published that number too, how much it was originally commissioned for, but I don't remember it either. Okay.
You know where the others are?
There's one is down in New Mexico or Texas or something.
I believe one is at his studio, or the estate studio right now in New Mexico. I believe one is somewhere else in the Midwest, like Kansas City or something. I believe there was 4 or 5, maybe 6 of them. So I'm not sure where the other ones are located.
Mr. Pepcorn mentioned Denver as at the airport or something. I thought he was referring to seeing this Jimenez.
No,
Big
that's,
horse that
That's a horse.
killed.
that's the blue
Jimenez.
horse.
Okay,
Yeah, Lucifer. Yeah, same artist, but
same
yeah.
artist in Denver.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Fell
was,
over and killed him.
Yeah, that's the one that was his death.
Oh, boy.
yeah.
It caused the values to skyrocket.
And it's huge. I don't know, what, 40 feet tall? I mean, it's huge, huge.
Any other business?
Thank you, all of you. It goes without saying that people don't always get acknowledged and thanked for the work they do, the public service that you're performing and delivering. And you're at the beginnings of the creations of an arts and culture at this commission. And you've done a lot of the rock-crunching hard work to have the foundation from which to go forward. But don't think your service isn't greatly appreciated and valued.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate having you in our meetings too, with that conduit between the commission and our arts commission, so appreciate seeing you too.
Well, yes.
Can I say something? On January 2nd, Laura Youngbird over at the Plains Art Museum is retiring. And they're going to have a public reception for her, I think at 6 p.m. On January 2nd. And so I would just like the community to know that it's open to the public, and it would be nice to see people there to show their appreciation to her, really her service to the community over the last 5 years at the Plains. So I just wanted to put that out there.
January 2nd at what time?
I believe 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
It'll be on the website. Museum website.
And there's a real exciting exhibit going on right now at the Plains, right? Salvador Dali?
Yes.
You need to talk about that one.
Yes, so the Dali exhibit, I believe it opens tomorrow. The staff over there have been working on it all week, and the detail that goes into setting up a show like that is pretty impressive. But it's for the professionals to set up, so I've been staying out of their way. They don't need another curator looking over the shoulder. So, but yeah, and there's Cal Hammer over there too. Fantastic show from the Native American programs as well. So, yeah.
And then Laura is retiring, and Joe Williams will be stepping into her shoes as director of the program. Congratulations. Okay. More business? This is great. Okay, well then, can I get a motion? I don't think we need a motion to adjourn. We can just say we're done now. And happy holidays, everybody. We'll see you back in January. Sometime in January.
So didn't